Hi, friends. So we've been talking a little bit about this notion of excess weight, obesity, being overweight, right? And in another video, we're going to describe how we can actually know if we're overweight or obese or what these terms mean and everything else. We'll talk about this later. But right now, I want to discuss something else. If you think you're overweight, you probably are. In other words, you look at yourself, the way you feel, the way you look, But right now, I wanted to discuss a different aspect of this issue. And if you think you're overweight, and if you're looking to not be overweight, then it is with you that I want to talk. So here's the idea. I have been saying something that at first sight looks crazy, sounds crazy. And I got some feedback, people saying, well, how can you say this? You hypnotists, you philosophers, don't you understand that modern science has proven that to lose weight, you got to eat less and exercise more? How can you say that you should not exercise? Well, first of all, just so my one of my doctorates is in whatever, yeah, we're hypnotists, but also, I'm aware of what modern science says, is what I'm saying. But the point is this. The suggestion that if a person wants to lose weight, they should not exercise at first is actually correct. And what I mean by that is the problem of excess weight isn't a physical problem. It's a mental and emotional problem. Now, just to recap, if you haven't heard this before, if you are overweight and you have not been exercising, and you say, okay, I want to lose weight, somebody told me I got to go exercise, I want to sign up for the gym and start exercising, this is what's likely to happen. What's likely to happen is that as you begin to exercise, your body detects that, extra expenditure of energy, and you increase appetite. You cannot control this. Your appetite will increase. And because we haven't fixed what we have to fix yet, because the problem of excess weight was not caused by lack of exercise, you see? So when you begin to exercise, we're not really addressing the cause of the problem, your appetite increases. Now, that increase in appetite will be balanced by the exercise that you're doing. But you're also drinking more water, you're also sweating, you see? You're losing a little bit of fat because you're exercising, but you're also putting on muscle. And the net effect of all of that is that when a person begins to exercise, particularly if they're doing weights and all, sometimes they actually gain weight. You got to remember, they're drinking more water, they're sleeping less, particularly if they work full time and they got to get up earlier. And in another video, I'm going to explain to you how lack of sleep has to do with, weight gain. All of this is scientifically true and proven and shown. But the point is that when a person begins to exercise, oftentimes, because of this combination of factors that I described, increased appetite, increased hydration, and increased muscle mass, even though they're also losing weight simultaneously, you got to look at the balance. Typically, the balance is positive, meaning they actually gain a little bit of weight in the beginning at least. So what tends to happen, remember, I've been doing this for a long time, what tends to happen is they get discouraged with the exercise. They're sacrificing, they're hurting, they're waking up early in the morning to exercise, and they gained a couple pounds. Like, this is absurd. And after a while, the motivation to exercise is ended and they drop the exercise. Except that when they drop the exercise, they've gotten used to eating a little bit more. Remember, appetite has increased because they're now exercising. Now they quit the exercise at a higher caloric consumption. In other words, they've been eating a little bit more than usual because after all, they were exercising. So now the net effect is weight goes way up. There's another factor that happens, which is more psychological. We call this the reward pathway. In other words, I'm already sacrificing, I'm waking up early, I'm running around the block every morning, my knees are hurting, this is happening, You know what? I deserve a bowl of ice cream. You see, there's the psychological reward idea. Well, I deserve this, I deserve that. And they actually fight with themselves and tell me, no, but I deserve, don't you think I deserve to have dessert today? So even the word dessert, dessert means to deserve. Dessert is the noun. I deserve something because I have dessert. In other words, dessert is something that you deserve after you've done something. So if you eat your veggies and if you do this, you deserve to now pile on all of these extra calories that actually will damage your digestive process, particularly if you ate proteins. Now you're going to eat all the sweets, but we call that dessert, like a reward, you see? All right, so the person says, well, I deserve to eat the ice cream or the chocolate because I've been exercising hard. And after all, nothing to worry about because tomorrow I'll just run an extra mile. Well, you run an extra mile, you spend like 23 calories, I don't know how many, and a candy bar is like 300, The point I'm saying is that to remove calories by exercising takes a whole lot of exercise. Look, you don't have to believe me. Go to a gym, get on a treadmill, run for half an hour, and watch the little display on the treadmill how many calories you burnt up. In another video, I tell the story. I was at a gym once, and this guy had been running for a long time. And after a while, he stops and says, wow, does anybody know how many calories in a can of Coke? And somebody says, yeah, I think it's 280, And he looks down and says, dude, this is 100 calories. I've been running forever. A third of a can of Coke, and he was running for like probably half an hour or something. So, taking out of the body a couple of candy bars, a couple of slices of cake with exercise takes a whole lot of exercise, trust me. And typically a person will gain weight. So we say, look, if you are overweight and you want to drop your weight and you haven't been exercising, then initially don't exercise. Why? Because we're going to fix the food addiction first. We got to take care of the food addiction first. Once you're eating less, now we can add the exercise, and we're not going to mask the food addiction with the exercise. So we're going to be able to solve this problem. Been doing this for years, and we have great success. Why? Because it's a philosophical principle. We actually address the cause of the problem, and we don't try to cover the symptom with more. So if you are looking to lose weight and you have not been exercising, don't start to exercise. Let's take care of the food addiction first. In the next video, we're going to talk about where that food addiction, those so-called bad habits, actually come from. So stay tuned.